Hello there, thanks a lot for coming by PosterCentral.com's video blog today. I'm Pete Howard, and this is not a bootleg. It is not a boot. In fact, both posters I'm showing you today are not bootlegs. Yeah, sometimes they really did make old concert posters that look like these two. They are not all later reproductions or bootlegs. Take my word for it, please. And we've got Muddy Waters today. Wow, a towering giant in the field of blues, and of course the father of modern Chicago blues. With this 1956 original, authentic window card advertising a show in Clarksville, Tennessee, about 50 miles northwest of Nashville. Very simple, straightforward design, 14 by 22 inch cardboard concert poster window card, and no printer's credit down at the bottom. But I will get to that with the second poster. And it does have that classic split fountain look, pink morphing down into yellow, morphing down into green, with about a third of the poster's territory per color. That's how split fountain works. Now, one of the most common questions I get, especially from outside the hobby about these old concert posters is, well, how do you know it's real? Just how do you know? Well, certainly, there's several ways to mix in several pieces of evidence or whatever, but one of the key ways is the environment something is found in. So this was found fortuitously, not by itself at a garage sale or something, but mixed in. It was part of a grouping of several vintage concert posters from Kentucky and Tennessee, all from the mid-1950s. And I have blogged other posters from this stash. In fact, I'll show you one. This one, a Ray Charles in the same city, Clarksville, Tennessee. See that? And I did this blog about 5 years ago, but there it is up in the venue information. So, that's just, they were obviously used to sell tickets and were over half a century old, and all the green flags were there, you could say. And the same holds true for the second poster I'm going to show you from 1957. That's coming up next. So, taking this poster, I could say from the top or from the pink, whichever, the Queen City Rainbow. Well, Clarksville's nickname is the Queen City, and I'm just guessing perhaps it was like a rainbow room or something, because there are so many rainbow rooms, spread across the United States. It's a great name for any small entertainment venue, That's just a guess. Then, of course, you do have Clarksville, Tennessee on there. Why the state named? Well, sometimes it gets thrown on by the typesetter, but this was a border city with Kentucky, so it makes sense to be sure to throw Tennessee on there. Tuesday, May 1st, and of course no year needed, but again this is 1956, 9 p.m., and then a couple of odd dashes there, just sort of a typesetting anomaly, a little bit weird, perhaps used as filler. And then admission advance, $1.75, at the door, $2. Wow. I'll keep it zoomed in because the first song, getting to the music on this muddy poster, that Hoochie Coochie Man. There's just no better moniker you could have on a vintage concert poster for Muddy, my goodness. His biggest R&B charting hit ever, I'm Gonna Be Your Hoochie Coochie Man, came 2 years prior to this show and it peaked at number 3 on Billboard's Rhythm and Blues chart. In fact, Muddy had 14 top 10 hits, but never a number 1. So number 3 was his biggest hit ever. And of course, Hoochie Coochie Man is misspelled, it's just one of those song titles that you could say has been sort of put through the misspelling meat grinder over the years. A lot of different ways to spell it, but if you use the original Chess Records labels, for the original single, then yes, this is a misspelling. Song was written by Willie Dixon and is a total blues standard, so fabulous to have above his picture. You couldn't ask for more. Then you've got Muddy Waters and his orchestra, which, seems a little bit incongruous now. It's, but basically the term orchestra was used back then for any bunch of backing musicians. And then you can see there it says famous for. Well, that's sort of unusual wording, but of course makes sense, but you just don't see that too often. And then you've got I'm Ready on there. Well, that was a top 5 hit, and like Hoochie Coochie Man, also in 1954. And the second song given on there is Mad Love, a top 10 hit from 1953. So given the fact this poster is 56, they could have put on Mannish Boy or Trouble No More as a couple of more recent hits, but You know, it's just funny to use the term hits with Muddy Waters, isn't it? You know, they're more like standards. As for the design, you've got those two big stars on either side of this great Muddy Waters photo, just wonderful, and then 4 smaller stars below. Just a very simple, classic layout for this American master, as is the next poster, so let's go ahead and jump ahead a year to 1957. Remember the nickname I mentioned, the father of modern Chicago blues? Well, this one's pretty darn close. Rockford, Illinois, just 90 miles west of Chicago. And it's 1957, the very next year. Just a beautiful blue and black poster. I just love the simple look of this one, and you know, the blues and blue color. I mean, it just makes sense. And like Clarksville 56 that I just showed you, this is from a world-class collection, not mine, and heavily vetted by us poster experts. And so this baby is absolutely printed before the show to sell tickets. No question about it. But what's interesting is it was done by Tribune Showprint, right? Okay, well, they were a totally legitimate concert poster printer in the 1950s through the 70s, and maybe even earlier and later than that. And I'm not saying they're an illegitimate printer now, but they are responsible for hundreds of different, what I call fantasy concert posters, done decades after the fact, just to be sold for $10 each at flea markets and stuff. So, and by the way, as long as I'm on the subject of Tribune and Muddy Waters, there's a very good chance they printed the 56 Clarksville as well. This one's 99%. I mean, they just printed it, no doubt about it. But the 56 one, I sat down with a couple of other world-class poster experts and examined them side by side. We're pretty sure Clarksville was also done by Tribune Showprint. I know that's arcane and there's no credit on here, but still worth mentioning. Okay, so taking this baby from the top, you do have Lithuanian Park on South Main Road in Rockford, Illinois. Saturday, October 19th, 9 p.m. to question mark. Just says 9 o'clock to question mark. I doubt if anybody showed up at 9 a.m. Admission, $1.75. And then check out this lovely wording. In person, the one and only, ever popular Muddy Waters and his orchestra. Wow, it's got the exact same picture and the exact same size and exact same cropping as the Clarksville poster. And you just gotta love that fun wording though, the one and only and the ever popular. I mean, embellishments like that just make posters more fun and more collectible. And then those 2 song titles down at the bottom, notice the exact same font and size as the Clarksville poster. This time it's Don't Go No Farther, top 10 R&B hit for Muddy. The previous summer that was a hit, and it was written by Willie Dixon. By the way, that was Muddy's 3rd top 10 hit of 56, so these 2 posters are just in such a prime time for him. And then after that, you've got Diamonds at Your Feet, which was the B-side of that record, and written by Muddy. And again, the plain white margin down there, the border at the bottom has no printer's credit, but this one we know was Tribune. Boy, I'll tell you, McKinley Morganfield, right? His original real name, and just a true giant postage stamp artist of American music, and such a thrill to give you this, have this rare opportunity to show you 2 absolutely genuine concert window cards that were printed before the shows to sell tickets. You just don't see many. All you see is the reprints. Thanks a lot for dropping by today. It's been real fun, and we'll see you again for something soon. Bye-bye.